Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, ThirstTrap. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, ThirstTrap.
Trap squad, trap squad.
Let me see squirrel walk, squirrel walk,
squirrel walk, squirrel walk.
Trap walk, trap walk, trap walk. Let me see you squirrel walk.
Let me see you squirrel walk, squirrel walk.
Trap walk, squirrel
Hey,
walk, trap
hey, hey.
What's happening?
Hey, what up, yo? What up,
What
though?
happened?
We are back. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, once again, it is a weeknight. It's not Thursday, so you know what time it is. It's 8:30, so it's time for Marcus and Mundell to talk that political shit. And I am the Mundell in the Marcus and Mundell. And we together are clickbaity political thirst trap, along with Tunde, and motherfucking Dwayne from Done Right Media. What's up, my brother Marcus? How you feeling, baby?
Stimmy, y'all, stimmy, yam, stimmy, yay. Promise some shit and you gonna take it away.
Take it away.
Natural part
Oh,
of
that's-
the
yo.
yards. Yeah, from the home of the Dodge and Broke Squad. Clickbaity,
Click.
killer bees on the storm. Yeah. Stimmy,
Yo, what up,
stimmy,
y'all?
y'all,
It's-
stimmy, yam, stimmy, yay.
Stimmy yam, stimmy yay. Promise some shit,
Then you take it away.
get elected, and no. Promise some shit, get elected, and take it away. Somebody said, "Man, they're gonna come in goofy as hell, though." Nabil,
Ooh, baby.
you new beard having 23 with pussy juice on your teeth, looking ass boy. Sit down. Sit down, boy.
Sit down sit down somewhere. What kind of juice?
What up,
is that?
Marcus?
You trying to get
Put
canceled,
that
ain't
juice.
you, boy?
Hey, listen.
You trying
Here's how I
this
feel.
boy woke up trying to get canceled. Like, you know what? Today's a good day to be the last show of Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. Oh, you got some shit in your cup. That's what's going on. Where your hookah at, man? Calm down.
Okay, boss. Marcus. Look, Marcus. Okay.
Oh,
boss.
yeah, that's right. That's right. Hey, he's become a meme. Hey, Dwayne, would you do us a favor? Would you like put Mondale on the screen by himself and Mondale just exhale? Because we need a meme moment from the hookah, and since that's what you do all the time, right? Yeah, so go ahead and inhale.
Right. Well, it's too early in the hookah. It's a brand new hookah. Let me see if I can get a smoke.
Stimmy, y'all, stimmy, yeah, stimmy, yeah. Y'all, I know y'all like that, Trap Squad. Squirrel gang. Hey, somebody need to come up with a dance. That squirrel walk.
Yo,
do that squirrel
let's see who has a dance. I need to acknowledge that. I need to acknowledge that Tamara Allen has been saying that I've been saying the wrong date for the book club. It is not the 17th, it's the 13th. That means it's this weekend, which means all you procrastinators, you have less days than Professor Black Ass Me have been telling you. You have until the 13th to be prepared for this motherfucking work. All right?
Yeah.
So we are doing this book study. Listen, and everybody's keep asking what level of Patreon you need to be to come to this book club. If you fuck with me as on the Patreon level, then you automatically got the Zoom because it's in our Patreon chat. Just go back and scroll. The Zoom link is in there. If you show up and if you share that link, and y'all know how I am, you know what's gonna happen if you bring your cousin who read the book but didn't pay the tuition. You know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna let him monitor the class. He's gonna get kicked the fuck out. So please come through. Why is he still on campus
anyway? Why is he
that
still
nigga
on
is
campus?
74 years old, Marcus.
Don't we have security around this motherfucker? Like, listen, why are you here? bro, look, okay, I get it, right? You know, you signed up for classes 2 years ago when financial aid ran out. So, you know, you a 8th year senior trying to still get at the freshman, bro. Come on, man.
And the motherfucker been in college so long, his first credits have expired.
Yeah, them children. Hey, them children.
Leave them girls alone.
Sure.
Leave them babies alone. Leave them babies alone. We had a guy like that in school when I was in college. We had this guy named Old Man Sam. Dude had to be like 40 something, and he was a sophomore. And listen, the young folk knew him as Old Man Sam. He had been there so long. And guess what he plays, Marcus? G5G.
Oh, he plays G5G. Wait, y'all made up a frat called G5G?
No. G5G is they don't call themselves a frat. They call themselves a social club, but they were actually founded. G5G is the male version, and the female. I can't remember the female version, but they were formed during the 60s, so they're not considered one of the Divine Nine. But their missions, the reason they were formed, was some Black Panther type shit. So I mean, they get clowned by the other fraternities and sororities, but their mission, the reason they were founded, was on some Black Panther shit. For real.
Well, you just put me on something. I didn't see that chapter at FAMU, but G5G, that's what we want to be. G5G, that's what we want to be. G5G, one of the greatest movies of all time. Another all-time
Marcus,
great.
it's called Groove 5. Marcus, Groove 5 Groove Fellowship Inc. They got 60,000 plus life members, 200 plus chapters. In the 1960s, the word groove was popular among young Blacks, right? The groove stood for, it was defined as a fixed routine in the affairs of life. Hence, the word goes against the meaning of groove. So grooving was about socializing, fellowshipping. They formed Groove 5 Groove. They had to be, let's see. Let me tell you about some of their stuff. They had like 12 fucking founding members.
Yeah, boy, because if you weren't reading this right now, I'll be telling you you're full of shit. Full of poppycock.
Guess, you ready for this?
Yeah.
Guess who is a member of Groove 5 Groove? G.K. Butterfield, my friend.
Oh, really?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Earl the Pearl Monroe.
Earl the Pearl Monroe is a member.
So, Junkyard Dog, the wrestler, was a Groove 5 Groove member.
Junkyard Dog. How about that? Yeah, so you see all these brothers was woke. I saw a picture of Samuel Jackson young. Samuel Jackson.
The
was
men
like
of Groove 5 Groove. That ain't never happened. You lying like shit.
What?
That was that nigga son. Samuel Jackson ain't never been 25. That nigga was born 47.
He looked like
so I know you lying.
Real shit. He looked like he was like he's one of them kids that was like 12 years old and looked like he was 48. Mean mugging you. You know what I'm talking about? Hey, Mondale. The stimulus passed today.
Say word.
Word. Stimulus passed.
$15 an hour was in there?
Not as long as that tote Karen Kersey lady is in the office.
Fuck you, man. Cinema. Man, what do they call it? Joe Man Cinema.
Joe Man Cinema. Listen, so the House approved the stimulus bill today, giving millions and millions of families some version of relief during COVID. I'm happy something happened, but I have mixed feelings. It's sort of like celebrating being allowed to win, being allowed to breathe air. It's sort of like escaping a fart. That's how I feel. That's how I feel about this bill. This bill was sort of like just escaping a fart. We needed it. Everybody needed it. You needed some fresh air. But you weren't gonna die. Folks were already making it on their own. But on the same token, it just feels really good to have fresh air and being away from a old stank ass fart.
So
let's do it.
If we consider that January the 20th was Joe Biden's first day in office, it's March the 10th, which is 10 days away from his 90th day in office, and we got what you said, this fart escaping stimulus. This is looking like I'm gonna be eating a lot of crow during this administration because this brother promised a lot of shit in his first 100 days, and we just getting the shit he promised on his first day. So I'm really scared about what's gonna happen with this administration. So this fart escaping stimulus smells just like that, stinky as fuck, because we got people that are millionaires debating whether poor people starving because of bad policy, should have $300 or $400 a week for unemployment.
Well, I mean,
So
listen.
what a wonderful analogy you created there, Marcus.
Yeah, man. Listen.
This is Pepe Le
You
Pew.
you get elected to the Senate to become a millionaire if you're not one already. And for some strange reason, we keep electing millionaires or people on their way to being multimillionaires. Georgia just did it. Don't get it twisted. Those aren't two broke people. Those aren't two broke people that we just put into the U.S. Senate. You know, Cinema, she's well on her way. You know, like, so I mean, you know, now there's people who understand our plight, and then there's people who, you know, don't understand our plight, right?
Correction, Cinema's already a millionaire.
Oh yeah. I'm tripping. How'd she become a millionaire?
Born white.
Well, that's the normal excuse. The House on Wednesday approved President Biden's sweeping 1.9 trillion COVID-19 relief package in a starkly partisan 220 to a 211 vote, sending the legislation to the White House and clinching Democrats' first big legislative victory in the Biden era. No Republican lawmakers backed the legislation, which will become law as much of the nation marks 1 year of lockdowns from COVID-19 era. Just one Democrat, Representative Jared Gold in Maine, opposed the measure. Biden said he was going to sign the measure as soon as it reaches his desk, with White House saying he's expected to sign Friday. The president is set to address the nation Thursday evening on the coronavirus pandemic. This is from The Hill. Shout out to The Hill for trying to keep it 1,000.
So let's just say that, first of all, the fucking fact that it's going to take more than 24 hours to get 4 blocks down the street or 7 blocks down the street is absolutely disgusting. Shows again how callous these motherfuckers are to people really are starving. And we know this doesn't seem like a lot one day, but if you're struggling with the bill, and we're not here to piss on the COVID bill in that it doesn't mean anything to people that are starving or struggling. That's not what we're saying. What we're saying is just like a comment Dwayne just put up about somebody saying they gave us our allowance of our money. It's like it's the government, these 555 or 56 people are acting as if they are the bank. The bank's closed and we have a fucking limit on what we can withdraw from an ATM. This is our money. Thank you, Luke Kane, for that comment. This is our money. You don't have the right to starve people. You don't have the right to starve people. Fighting over from 400 to 300 and knowing that you weren't gonna get Republican support anyway, they should have just rammed this shit down their throats, bro, with everything that they promised people. And now, even though I knew what you was talking about, Joe Biden, when you said 1,400 plus the 600 was already promised was going to be the 2,000. Now I'm thinking if this was going to be the case, you should have gave motherfuckers 2,400, and you should have been 1 month thing. It should have been every month until we came out of fucking lockdown, and not Texas style lockdown until we have reached herd immunity with COVID vaccinations. That's how long people should be getting this money. Because if you look at other countries that are not as wealthy as America, that are developed, they've been paying their residents, their citizens, money every month. Not even 1,400. They've been getting 2,000, 4,000, depending on where you were. Some countries getting 3,000 a month every month to their citizens. So it just shows you, it reminds you that all these rich fucking people that represent us, and we can't do votes of confidence or no confidence on these bastards, is absolutely disgusting. And it also harkens back to the fact that we made last night, Marcus, that we no longer need to keep electing people to make this much money while they're in office. You should make what minimum wage is. We should pay all of your bills in DC and your travel associated with your office and your duties of office. But beyond that, you shouldn't be making hundreds of thousands of dollars when you think it's okay to give people less than dignity for working or applying for jobs and not being able to get a job.
As silly as this sounds, Mandela, that was well put. I think everyone needs to kind of key in on what Mandela just said. I think we need a fourth branch of government at this point, because the way
shout out to Ben Dixon on Facebook watching us.
I think we need a fourth branch of government. And I think that government needs to, I know it sounds crazy, but I think that fourth branch of government should be the people. Because the way it is set up right now, you have, the judicial, you have the executive, and you got Congress, right? And they are working with each other to fuck us over. I don't think, even though we put people there, right? The people put people there to represent us in two of the branches. I think the people themselves need their own branch of government. I do. I think it needs to be called the people. And I almost think it needs to be damn near either survey driven or need driven, and but it's driven purely by science. And it does nothing but studies. And whatever the studies say is best for the people becomes our platform. Studies, not real studies, not, so if COVID was killing X amount of Americans and X amount of Americans were losing their jobs, then that branch of government puts out something that says, okay, well, the average American needs $2,000 a month. Forget what anybody else has to say. Right? We're not represented, man. We get excited when we get excited about $1,400 and then watch a $200 million bombing run in Syria and don't put the two things together. This like we need something that actually represents American people, because the way it's going right now, elections are bullshit. I mean, and I want y'all to all register and I want y'all to vote, but man, I'm starting to believe some of these elections are just full of shit. Because what's the point of all of us going hard for Joe Biden and hard for Georgia, and then turning around and somebody like Kirsten Sinema and Joe Manchin get to dictate whether we can have certain things or not? We didn't get power. We didn't vote for Kirsten Sinema to be in control of what's the point of having the president? Right? So we need a fourth branch of government. We need a fourth branch of government, man. I know that might sound crazy, Mondale, but we need a fourth branch of government, dog, that represents people. And I don't even know how it looks yet, but I know we need
it doesn't look like the current fourth branch of government, which is the media. It absolutely needs to be something that checks senators. And it's like if you are a millionaire, you shouldn't be able to vote against motherfucking anything about people's salary. Fuck out of here. It should be illegal. It should be an ethics violation. It should be an ethics violation for you to vote that people can't get $15 an hour if you're a fucking millionaire. You are a son of a bitch. I don't call people son of a bitches. I did it on purpose. Yes, you should be wrong. It is, man. Let's just be honest, bro. Did anybody this week after I said, go put $15 on your table and look at that, and then consider an hour worth of your life? An hour worth of your life. Not just sitting on vacation, not just sitting on a chair in your house watching TV. Consider doing your job, whatever your job is, consider it for those 3 5s and think that's enough. Anybody that believes $15 is enough for any hour of labor is disconnected from reality, bro. So I am disgusted that these people who are super rich, these are the 1%, choosing how poor people should be. How poor people should be.
And doing just enough to keep us from revolting. We need to up our standards, America. Them French people had it right. They will lop your head off. Let them eat cake. We are being told let them eat cake on a daily basis. And I mean, what's wrong with negotiating from a higher point, Democrats? What's wrong with starting off the conversation at $10,000?
Right.
It ain't your money.
What's wrong with starting out? What's wrong with starting out with eliminating all college debt?
What's wrong with? Yeah, what's wrong with okay, we need a nationalized health care program.
What's wrong with starting off with Marcus's Rep 1? What's wrong with it? I mean, it's the trap squads now because Marcus said it to y'all. So the trap squads Rep 1, but it was Marcus's brainchild. So what's wrong with it? Well, why are we starting from their space? When we negotiating, our starting point is 15. Then we let the motherfucking so-called used car sales manager say it a different way. The Republicans determine what we're gonna sell the motherfucking car for. We know it's gonna be less than $15 an hour. And then we got these weak ass Democrats. That motherfucker from Maine shouldn't even be classified as a Democrat anymore. Marcus, I'm literally trying to start a hashtag that's gonna trend. D minus 15. D minus 15. Anybody does not support $15 an hour should be subtracted from the Democratic Party. D minus 15.
I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. Especially considering the fact that this is not like a fight that, at some point, Kirsten Sinema was a part of a party that supported $15 an hour. You mean to tell me that, by the way, there has been polls that came out, and I'll try to, if we could try to find them, Dwayne, Tunde, we could try to find them, but there's a poll that came out from Arizona citizens. And they polled Arizona citizens on the increasing of the wage to $15 an hour. Guess what the percentage was of overall, not Democrats, not independents, not Republicans, but everybody.
Everybody. Probably
62% of Arizonans believe in a $15 an hour minimum wage.
Guess what that is, Marcus? Marcus, guess what that is?
But hold on. But she was up there doing exactly what she's doing in her politics. She was up there dancing because she's playing a game with these people. And it's an unnecessary game. You selfish, slimy woman. You selfish,
Marcus,
slimy woman. 60% of your state support something, and you're a Democrat, and you go against it?
Hold on, Marcus. Hold on.
Who reads these people? Who, like, literally,
listen.
Is there anybody who reads these people? Hold on one second, Mondale. Is there anybody who reads these people? Like, look here, sit your ass down. This is what we gonna do. Because we need this. Nah, she's over there playing political games. And you know what? I got a special FU to her little political director. You can, your little political manager, your little political consultant, trying to make it okay. Kirsten Sinema seems like she's an independent firebrand. No, she's not. She ain't no independent firebrand. There you go right there. 61% of likely voters support Democrats' gradual minimum wage hike.
Listen, Marcus. That's Vox News.
And that's from Fox News? Come on.
Vox.
No, okay,
not
I'm
Fox,
about to say,
Vox.
whoa.
But still, listen to this though. Listen to this, Marcus. On November 3rd, 2020, something remarkable happened. We're not talking about the unelecting of Donald Trump. I'm talking about the citizens, the residents of Arizona. Listen to this now, Marcus. Voted on a ballot initiative. Exactly. Voted on a ballot initiative. Prop 207 in Arizona voted to legalize marijuana. Guess what the percentage was? Less than it was the motherfuckers that support $15 an hour. So guess what that means? Our remedy for fucking Sinema, our spit in her face, is to put it as a ballot initiative. Because 62%, because it was 60% that supported 207, Prop 207 to legalize marijuana. That's 2% higher. So we need to make it a fucking ballot initiative to show her that she's disconnected from the people she's supposedly represent.
Speaking of the ramifications of that bill, I just want to let you know, a little off topic, but I do want to let you know that, man, like, there is something about the experience, especially from people who are from states that weed is not legal. There is something about the experience of saying, you know what? I'm 21 years old and I want some weed. And just saying, I just want some cannabis. And going, like, and getting in your car, especially as a black person, right? Like a black person from a state who uses cannabis products and from a place that is illegal, you go to a place like Arizona and you're just in awe. It's one of the most amazing experiences in your life. And this is, 36 states have legalized in some form. If you have your medical marijuana cards, most states are medical marijuana, but some states are completely legal. And there is absolutely nothing like, for your first time ever, just taking your ID and your money. I almost want to cry. Taking your ID and your money, going into a building, showing your ID that says that you're 21 years old. They open up the door and they just let you in, and you can just look at all types of weed.
Listen, Marcus, The first time I did that,
Let me please.
Listen, hold on. I got a real life experience, nigga. It was October 2019. I was in Nevada, and that shit happened. I experienced it. I walked into the largest weed store in the country, and that shit.
Man,
I was nervous, Marcus. I was nervous as fuck buying this shit from a store.
Hey,
like, is this really happening?
No, listen. So I had a medical marijuana card, right? And Curaleaf, one of the big companies, took over my old marijuana dispensary. But, you know, and I'm thinking to myself, I remember how much effort I went through just to get a medical marijuana card. And when I went in and like the doors open to the intersection of the cannabis department, and it was like, oh, angels singing. And it was black people, and you know, they were the little bud tenders are just happy little human beings because they get to sell people weed all day long. They had ice cream in there. They had gummy bears in there. They had, I mean, and this is not like a tribute to cannabis. This is more so like we realize how less dangerous legalizing cannabis is, right? And it's a common sense approach, but I'm going to utilize this. Most Americans want legal cannabis. When most Americans want something, it tends to be better for society. And that experience of going in and just
shout out to the Zip being on Gimmie.
Oh, thanks, Jenny. Well, yeah,
thanks, Jenny.
That experience is amazing.
I ain't coming to Oregon, but I appreciate that.
Yeah, but here's what I'm saying though. Let me go a step further. If most Americans support a living wage, which most Americans really do support a living wage, there's not many polls that get polled about this, but I guarantee you over 50% of Americans support a living wage because that's America. Now imagine how that feeling, that euphoric feeling that I had going into the cannabis shop becomes a euphoric feeling of the American worker if we just passed a bill that said we're giving all Americans a living wage.
Hold on one second.
Let me finish my point.
I am. We're gonna take a moment of silence real quick. On some serious shit. One of our faithful listeners, Fred Hampton Jr., is my hero. Who has been with us since we've been on YouTube. We shout out that brother or sister or non-gender conforming person because what's really real is people show up for us even when they're going through shit. This brother said his sister is on the operating table right now with open heart surgery. And he asked for our prayers. So let's take a moment of silence. And if your God is Jesus, if your God is Allah, if your God is whoever or whatever your God is, let's take a moment of silence and lift up this person, his sister, in those prayers. So
word.
Let's just right now. Thank y'all so much. Marcus, thank you so much for letting me interrupt you, brother. Fred Hampton, bro, our prayers are with your sister and your family. And we got you, man. We love you.
Yeah. That's my same thing. That's the last time you're gonna interrupt me too. I'm gonna come across the screen and touch you and your hookah. You heard me?
I'm a run. We were already fighting in the text message chain today. Like, we were already fighting about Instagram. I don't want to fight, man. I don't want to fight.
You got one more time to interrupt me, bro.
Yo, listen, Marcus. Hey, I bet you on God. Marcus is more infuriated than anybody by me interrupting him, but he's also the most used to it. Facts. So shout out to Marcus for putting the world should love Marcus for putting up with Mundale. That nigga is the yellow Eminem, and I'm the brown Eminem that nobody likes. But that nigga still let me ride in the bag with him every motherfucking Halloween. So,
and we the last ones for putting up with Mundale. We the last ones, bro. We the last ones just left at the bottom. You know what I mean? That's what you give brown and yellow M&Ms to your to the people you don't like. Separate them out. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, I put up with your shit. That's some skillful shit, though. I'm happy that you recognize it and keep it moving. See, if y'all were watching the throwbacks, y'all see that I used to yell at Mondale. We used to be fighting because every time he would interrupt me, I used to be like, man, dog, this boy won't let me get a goddamn word.
Fragile
Yeah.
ego.
Yeah, I know. Well, that was my fragile male ego. But I've gotten used to it. And then you just have to, keep it.
Marcus,
just,
you know what I'm like? You know what I'm like?
Moving.
I'm like those itchy, ugly ass Polaroids your mama made you wear in the wintertime. You hated the motherfuckers, but you were the only kid that wasn't cold in the winter.
Hey, well, first off, my sense of style when I was young, I like corduroys. I like everything weird. Like in high school, I would wear a suit. Yeah, I like everything weird. In high school, I would wear a suit. I would wear a suit once a week. Now, you know how damaging this is to wear a suit in high school once a week? But I wore a suit once a week, and the reason why is because I wanted to utilize my full artillery of clothing that I had in my closet. So that jacket wasn't gonna make it, and also you wear a suit. Back in my day, if you wore a suit to class, especially in my high school, you could get away with murder. Oh, that guy wears a suit. he dressed better than me. All right, I forgot my point, America, because Mondale interrupted me, but we do want to give a shout out to our family, and I hope and pray that she makes it through her. Well, she's gonna make it through the surgery. Let's just speak life. She's gonna make it through the surgery. She's gonna be perfectly fine. We're gonna keep it moving.
Dwayne, can I ask you a question? Unmute yourself.
We might not be able to get to this because what's today's date?
No.
What's the day?
It's the 10th. It's the 10th. Go ahead, get to it.
Yeah, March 13th. Saturday. It will be the anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death, March 13th.
Jesus Christ, y'all. Jesus.
And
Marcus.
It's been.
Can we count the number of black people? Can we count the number of black people that have been killed by cops between now and then? We can't. You know why?
It's been a year. It's been a year, and no one has been held accountable. It's been a year. And no,
Marcus. Wait. Yes, there has. The officer has been held accountable for shooting the wall.
All right.
He was charged for putting a hole in the fucking wall. Do you remember that shit? They held him accountable for the fucking wall.
Let's get into it. Let's get into it real quick, Mondale, because this is important. As the 1 year of Breonna Taylor, and this is from the Griot. Shout out to the Griot. Shout out to Demesia Iman. Shout out to Jason Johnson, Griot writer. Shout out to everybody over at the Griot. I like y'all. I write with y'all. I rock with them. When I write stuff, it's always coming out of the Griot. Got something coming out of the Griot. Hopefully soon. I'm gonna submit it and see if they still like me. But I ain't gonna. Let's just.
If they don't put it on Facebook, I bet the Trap Squad fuck with it.
Yeah, absolutely. I got, and it's messy too. It's the messiest thing one of the messiest things I ever wrote in my life, but it's all true.
I got some messages about black people that play politics.
Yeah, first we're gonna get into that after this. Wait. God damn it.
It's not.
No, Mondale Robinson, would you wait for a second? As the 1 year anniversary of Breonna Taylor's death approaches, her mother, Tamika Palmer, opened up during a new interview on NBC News with Blaine Alexander. The clip of the interview featured Palmer expressing gratitude about the global support, however, demanding change in action. She expressed the feeling that despite a national movement, there's been no real accountability for the shooting death of her 26-year-old daughter at the hands of Louisville police during a mishandled raid. A raid that also produced a black man getting charged with something for defending himself that a white man would have gotten celebrated for. But we know the story to that. I don't know the difference in the days anymore, she remarked. Nobody's been held accountable, and that's the problem. Police responsible were never arrested nor charged with her violent death. Breonna Taylor became a staple, and this is me being personal, but Breonna Taylor became a staple of just the violence against black people in a historical manner. And it goes across genders, right? Now, you know, black people get targeted. Black men are targeted at the highest rate. Black women are still targeted, right? But Breonna Taylor's death shows that how a mistake that can happen can literally expose a system twice. Once for their lack of responsibility, and second for their ability to cover it up. And then we can talk about the media. The media immediately went into the ex-boyfriend's history, the boyfriend's history, how they sold weed, how they sold drugs, how they did this, that, and the other, but they were at the wrong house. Now, I want y'all to understand this shit clearly, very clearly when I say this right here. When those brothers were doing their thing and selling cannabis, is at the same exact time where states are going legal in cannabis. Whole states are going legal in cannabis, but the media is able to smear black men because they don't want to hold police departments accountable for something that white men are doing right now and making money off of hand over foot. So the travesty in how the media reported this was amazingly crazy. Then they go after Breonna Taylor's history. We cannot allow them to keep dragging our people for the benefit of police having some kind of narrative that they can create about the criminality or the false criminality of African Americans in this country. It's bullshit. They know it's bullshit, and they get away with it because white moderate people don't step up and say this is wrong. That's right, white moderate people, Democrats and Republicans. The only white folks that I see stepping up for us in times like this are white progressive people. But white moderates will be like, well, I'm on the fence. Ain't no fucking fence. Ain't no fence. There is no fence. There's no fence when somebody gets shot in their sleep. There's no fence that you're trying to say that they were selling drugs out of a, so what? American government sold drugs to black people. Y'all ain't say nothing then. It's a travesty, and to be honest with you, Breonna Taylor should be alive right now if they just had the right information and competent people on the back end of things. But they didn't have that, and they killed her, and now they're trying to cover it up, and there's been absolutely no justice for Breonna Taylor whatsoever. They come for us. They come for our queens. Last year we had one of the highest amount of police shootings across the nation in our history. The same summer that we're telling people the police are killing us, they just started killing us even more. 20 more people last year over average. 20 more black people killed, unarmed black people killed from police on average. Last year. You remember that? Do you remember last year when we were in these streets? They're giving us a reason to justify us being angry at the system. Y'all want to talk to me about forcing the vote for Medicare for all. I want to force the vote for police accountability. You know why?
So whoever said that Ben Dixon is watching on Facebook because they want to be dragged on Instagram, on YouTube, y'all need to stop. Y'all gotta stop.
Man, I ain't worried about that. I ain't worried about that shit. Look, back to what I was saying, man. In order for us to get justice for people, in order for us to get justice for our people, y'all better pay fucking attention, man. This ain't no goddamn game. I ain't worried about that drama bullshit. Black people still getting killed around here. Miss me with all the conversations about like, oh well, we need to focus on Biden needs to focus on passing the George Floyd Act. Biden needs to focus. That's what the fuck needs to happen right now. I don't want to hear y'all ain't giving us $15 an hour minimum wage. Y'all can't starve us, make us not be able to pay our bills, and then have your fucking dogs come and kill us in our neighborhoods on accident and never be held accountable, man. I don't give a goddamn about how anybody feels about that. Breonna Taylor should be alive, but she's dead, and ain't nothing happened in a year. All I gotta do is go to the damn police department, the police academy, and I can become a fucking murderer. That's the country we live in right now. Y'all capping out here. Y'all capping. This is the last thing, Mondale, this is the last thing, man. They capping out here. We get people elected, right? We got people having these conversations about. You got Obama sitting up here saying defund the police was a whatever. John Ossoff can't even say during his campaign defund the police. They tried to make it some kind of centrist Russian spy gate to say defund the police, but Breonna Taylor still ain't got her damn justice. It's been a year. What do you moderates want us to do? Just die?
So Marcus. So listen, here's what I'm saying. Infinite content. That is not a small acknowledgement. We should let that. Dwayne, can we let that comment stay on the screen for a little longer than it should? Because that is a fucking scary thought that barbers in this country are getting more training than police officers. And if you live in North Carolina and you got a felony conviction, they make it hard for you to even get licensed to be a barber, believe it or not. Listen, here's what I was going to say, Marcus. This tracks well. What you just said tracks well with what we already knew, but white people just found out. The fact that they killed us more last year than they ever had is indicative of this new FBI document that said racists are joining the police force. So in the year when we're screaming about death, black death at the hands of police officers, we already knew that these was racist, not neo-Nazis. And it took them a year to figure out why so many black people died at the hands of cops. I should say it took them 150 years why they figured it out. We already knew that. So the fact that so many people are dying, black people dying by cops, and we got to say black people in this moment. This is not to discount the fact that brown people are dying by cops too, but it's we're talking about the disproportionate number of black men and black women and trans sisters and brothers that are dying by cops. And people are talking about shit that is irrelevant. If we don't acknowledge that, then it may fall on deaf ears. It's just like not the Green New Deal, the New Deal in general, where they forgot to acknowledge that black people were suffering different than white people. And because they didn't acknowledge explicitly what they wanted to do for black people, we got left out intentionally. If we're talking about policing, the only people that should be involved in this conversation on how to correct what's going on in policing should be poor black people, not even Oprah Winfrey and Clyburn. It should be poor black people because we are suffering uniquely as it pertains to death by cops. And anybody that is not willing to acknowledge that 2020 showed black people dying in a different way than anybody else in this country at the hands of police officers, and can't acknowledge that it's something wrong with how we police black people in this country, are racist. And I don't have other word for it other than racist, point blank, period. So Marcus is absolutely spot on when he says that it's been a year plus and Breonna hasn't got justice. And the reason I say plus, because that sister was a black woman before she died, which means she definitely, indefinitely suffered white supremacy in some form or fashion.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know whether it's this coffee, Mondale. I don't know whether it's this coffee, or I don't know whether it's this story has just made me angry. Like, I gotta check myself right now because I'm about to go ape shit.
You don't though. You don't.
I just,
man, you lost a family member to cop violence. You don't fucking have to check yourself at all. White supremacists and people supporting this system need to check themselves. You lost a fucking cousin with the same last name as you to death by cop, bro. Anybody telling you to check yourself is bullshit and comfortable with the status quo that's killing black people.
Yeah,
no, you don't.
But my thing is this right here. I don't like. I'm starting to be like, fuck everybody else's talk. Y'all want to talk about the Queen. Y'all want to talk about healthcare. Y'all want to talk about overseas bombing. Y'all want to talk about the environment. Y'all want to talk about, and we have a government entity here that is murdering us. To black people, police officers are the SS.
Wow. Say it again.
Okay. So if you don't understand how serious it is, and I want y'all to come and cancel me. Come on, Bring your fucking ass over here and cancel me because I said it. This ain't anti-Semitic. This is me saying to black people, police officers are the SS. Trained to kill on sight.
All their targets look like us.
Bro,
We look like all
something.
their targets.
Let me tell you something. Just today, just today, I had Wody riding shotgun with me. Wody gets up in the window and the cop looks at me and says, "You need to tie that dog down." He just wanted to say something to me. Because there's so many black cops that drove past Wody and was like, "Oh, that's a cute cop. That's a cute dog. That's a cute dog, man. Where you get him from, man? I buy him from you." The one white cop I see, the one white cop that sees him, you need to tie your dog down. You just want to be authoritative. I didn't even move. I just kept driving.
Marcus, this is spot. Listen, bro, and here's what people are. People might say you're trivializing the conversation, but here's what they're not understanding. That same white cop that said something to you about your dog being in the front seat is the same white cop that will pull you over and kill you for nothing other than your dog being in the fucking front seat. And if we're not talking about this instinctly and succinctly, then we are absolutely doing a disservice to all the black people who have lost their lives at the hands of cops. Point blank, period, brother. So I appreciate you saying that, because people may miss the nuance, but black people are dying for little shit like running stop signs. Rest in peace, Sandra Bland. For having their dog in the front seat, or for informing the cops they're exercising their fucking Second Amendment right, Philando Castillo, or for playing with a toy in the park, Tamir Rice. I can keep going on with stupid shit and reasons that black people die for nothing other than being black and American in this country. And y'all motherfuckers want to talk about healthcare and the other litany of shit that does not really stop cops from killing us. Marcus lost a family member to a fucking cop. Don't talk to me about protecting and serving or good cops, because none of that shit resonates with my soul or the reality of my life at all. Fuck y'all for that shit.
Yo, listen, check this out. Why should I vote for your ass if you don't believe in defunding the police? On some real shit, America. Why should I support somebody who doesn't believe in defunding the police? My family member got killed, right? Mondale brought that up. So, you know what?
Sorry, Marcus.
No, it's fine. My family member got killed. So why should I support you if you don't believe in defunding the police? Me personally. I'm smart enough to know how policing works.
Marcus, I'm sorry. We have some new followers who don't know the story, and I hate to do this to you. If you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't do it. But
you can do it. You can do it.
Do you mind how fucking? Because that story was fucking ludicrous. How he lost his life. Do you mind sharing with these people the story around that shit, bro?
No, I'm gonna do this right here. Jonathan Ferrell, he played football for Florida A&M University. My cousin played football for FAMU. He was a fucking defensive back, I believe. And he moved to North Carolina with his fiance at the time, and they were about to start a family and get married. And a cop killed him while he was unarmed. That's all I'm gonna say. Y'all can look him up. His name is Jonathan Ferrell for the new folks. Y'all can look him up. He got into a car accident. Had to kick the back of his window to get out of his car because his doors wouldn't open. Delirious. Not delirious. Let me not say delirious. He goes and he's in a remote area, so he goes to a person's house, knocks on the door, and asks for help. Of course, the white woman says, "Oh, I thought he was trying to break in." Right?
Because all robbers knock on the door. Because all robbers knock on the fucking door when they're trying to break in.
That's right. Robbers knock on the door, so he thought he was trying to break in. Cops come. They see Jonathan, and this part is on film. Jonathan sees the police, and he walks towards the police thinking that they're there to help him, has his hands up, and they shoot him 8 times.
Jesus fucking Christ, man.
I mean, but no, listen. That brother, my cousin Spirit, is with me. But here's the more important thing. Fuck you for even trying to tell me I don't want to defund the police.
Right.
Like you can't tell. No one can tell me a damn thing. Not your little moderate black speakers. Not your little moderate ex-president. I don't care about what they got to say about it. They ain't stopping him from getting killed. They haven't even said nothing about Breonna Taylor. So it doesn't even matter how famous. Trayvon, listen, Obama said Trayvon could have been my son. Yeah, we know you black. Fuck you mean? So policing in America is my number one issue. I want living wages. I want health care, right? But I also want our communities to be able to thrive and grow and thrive and grow and live in peace without having the modern day SS around us. I was talking to a candidate recently for a city council seat, and I said to her, you know, you got a lot of police backing. I don't care if you get elected. Just know that once you get elected, you got to hold police accountable. And it's a little hard to do when they're in your, when they're in your pocket. And I said, because here's the thing. The people who want more police don't see a police officer all day. Whether you're black or white.
Wow.
And the only police officers that you see are the ones that are protecting your ass.
Are protecting your ass.
Right. So the people who are talking about policing this, that, and the other don't have the same amount of resources for policing in their neighborhoods. If you go to Scottsdale, Arizona, or neighborhoods around Scottsdale in Phoenix, what's the name of it? The mall is out there. They have an outdoor mall. And I'm sorry, I can't even think of it.
It ain't important. We know what you mean. Go ahead.
Yeah. If you go there, right? I went there. They got security guards, and security guards are cool as hell. So I actually asked the cop, the security guard, man, how many cops you see? He was like, I've never seen one since I've been in this job. How long you been working here? 7 years. You've never seen a police officer? Yeah, I saw one drive by, but they just drove out the neighborhood. I think they were here visiting somebody. Now, I went to the South Side where I got my hotel in Phoenix. This is Phoenix. This is a white city, white and brown city. And on my way down Central Avenue, I counted 5, 6, 7, turned the corner. I counted like 10 while I was just doing one little visit to one of my partners on the South Side. So they put them in our neighborhoods, and the people who put them in our neighborhoods only see the benefit from them. Y'all,
Might I remind you all that the reason police exist in this country is not to protect and serve the citizens. It's to protect and serve the interests of rich people. And anybody that don't know that history don't know why it's toxic for black people. Period.
Yeah. So
period.
Yeah. So it's where the Cheesecake Factory is, Trap Squad. Where the Cheesecake Factory is off of Camelback. That's just to get y'all right. I know what I'm talking about. Wherever the Cheesecake Factory is on Camelback, that's the neighborhood I'm talking about. The Biltmore, boom, Biltmore, that area, right? Biltmore is one of the richest neighborhoods in America.
And the Biltmore Hotel, or I should say the Biltmore Castle, is the largest castle, privately owned house in North America. It was built by Anderson Cooper's grandfather, who was also an exploiter of black bodies. People don't know this. The Vanderbilts built Biltmore in Asheville, North Carolina. So when you see Biltmore, don't be celebrating and shopping there, because you're celebrating black trauma, black death, and also white exploitation.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, it's just this simple, man. I need white moderate people. I need white people in general, because we can't do it by ourselves. Even black moderate people understand that we need to do something about policing. Even Barack Obama knows that. He just he doesn't want to mess up his next speaking engagement. That's why he won't talk about it. You know, when you drop 600 to $1 million, when you drop 600 to $1 million,
Marcus, you owe us $100.
I'm not paying for $100 during the segment talking about that dude.
Stop talking about that motherfucker. You told me stop talking about that bastard. I did.
Okay, I will. All right. So, What's next, man? We
Tell
got
them
some
where to
more
find
news.
you at. We have more news to cover. But tell them where to find you at, bro.
Marcus for America, Instagram, Twitter. Hey man, y'all for real go follow me on Twitter, man. I'll be going off of Twitter, Instagram, Twitter, and then go like, share. Please like, share, and subscribe to this channel if you're on YouTube. Please like this and share this if you're on Facebook. Stop, just really, guys, like 270 people, y'all who are watching. If I can get 200 people to just hit the like button right now. Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh my God.
Guys,
oh my God.
Hold on. Let me do it.
Do it.
It's my turn.
Do it.
Yeah.
Do it.
Hey guys, our podcast is up on Spotify. That's right. This episode, I believe last night's episode also, we are on Spotify. That means that you could take your jog, you cute little white ladies with the yoga pants can go gentrify the neighborhood, listening to clickbaity political thirst trap and loving that shit. That's right, I said it. And you sisters, while y'all doing y'all thing, you know what I mean? You can turn it up real loud so your boyfriend to get mad, or your brothers, your girlfriend to get mad, whatever the situation may be. Listen to the Thirst Trap. We're on Spotify. We're about to be on all of the podcast channels, podcast platforms. So, boom, y'all ask for it. Y'all ask for it.
Now you have it.
Now you have it. Mondale, where they can find you at, bro?
Hold on. You old man you old man politics somewhere.
And I'm old man politic on Twitch. By the way, if a mixtape comes out within the next 6 months, it's called Old Man Politic, it's probably me. Go ahead.
I'm gonna buy that shit just because. Listen, find me at Mondale Robinson on all social media platforms, especially Patreon, because this weekend, not next week, this weekend, the 13th, we're doing a book club review and also study of Pedagogy of the Oppressed by none other than Paulo Freire. So check us out. We there, y'all. Also, you can find me on Clickbaity everywhere. When y'all get those response from Clickbaity, the first one is automated. That's not any of us. That's the automated to let you know that we care about you. But then the follow-up is usually Marcus or myself. So yeah, that's where you can find us at. Dwayne, roll that shit.
Big time.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let a voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad, trap squad. Yeah, I see you, yeah, I see you. Trap squad, trap squad. Trap squad, thirst trap. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad, trap squad.
Yo, they're like our Death Lord is like our house band. We see you. And I also saw your post Infinite content about Nina Simone. Speaking of Nina's, shout out Nina Turner. The race is officially on. Marsh Fudge was officially granted her position with the Biden administration. That means that race is officially on. And y'all know I gotta go and I'm rocking with my girl, but I'm also rocking with everybody black, but I'm rocking with my girl, Nina Turner. So you make sure you go and support her. I want to do a couple of things. Shout out to the sister. Where's the sister at that said that her kid was about to interrupt her, but her kid was going to interrupt her, but she was watching her boys on Clickbaity. That is a wise, smart kid. Shout out. Yeah, my baby just said, I'm not going to disturb you. I see you watching your boys on Clickbaity. Gotta love them. Yeah, I love them. I love them.
Marcus.
And I want to give one more shout out real quick, and that is to my mom and my niece, my sugar bear, Ryan. Sugar Bear, I love you. I know you haven't been called that in a while, but you're still my sugar bear to me. And
I told y'all Marcus was light skinned self.
And yesterday, my mother informed me that yesterday they were listening to the show in the car, and my mom comes back to the car and Sugar Bear says, 56. My mom was like, what are you talking about? She said, Uncle Nard cussed 56 times on the show. Yes.
Wait. Who's Uncle Nard? Wait. Hold on. Who's Uncle Nard? How many names do you got, bro?
Man, I mean, it's my middle name, man. I'm damn. You just want to force the government to just make it easy, huh? Okay, bet.
Listen. I gotta apologize to the crowd because I don't know what's going on my headphones, but so you guys are gonna hear some background noise for the last 19 minutes of the show. Just bear with me. We are recording live in front of a studio audience. This is an attempt to get feedback on the show from people as they listen to us. So just bear with us. My sound went out, and Marcus, thank you for holding it down while the sound went out and while we try to get that shit together. Dwayne, thanks for calling and providing some.
You got people watching you, Mondale?
Yeah,
we got people watching.
It's like 79 people watching the show right now, bro, that aren't online right now.
Oh, that's why you keep interrupting me, Negro. Okay, I got you. You got that special thing.
See, this is the shit right here where we center light skinness.
Oh, now we all understand, Trap Squad. Now we all get it. Now we know exactly what's going on.
Bathe Marcus in tar so he can be dark skinned for a day and not look like Meghan Markle's baby.
Making love in the rain is fine.
Hey, you remember I used to call you Sinbag and shit?
Hold on. I look like a cast member.
Early shows I used to call you Sinbag?
That's right. I look like a cast member on. I do look like a cast member on what's the name of the movie we were talking about yesterday? With Nino Brown.
America. Oh, New Jack City.
Yeah, I look like a cast member on New Jack City because that had to be light. That was the light skinned nigga brigade in that movie, boy. Every other scene there was a red bone in it.
Show Kings, this is not me flexing my audience. This is our audience. These are your brothers and sisters that are a member of the Squirrel Gang in the DMV area. I just recruited them to come to the show to see so we can get live feedback when the show's over. I'll do a focus group setting, brother. That's all.
Yeah, he's stunning. He's stunning. I see why I keep getting cut off now.
I'm not stunning. I got on a hat. Bro. If I was stunning, Marcus, if I was stunning, I had my locks out. You know, if I was stunning, I had my hair out. I washed my hair today, bro. What you talking about?
Hey, shout out. By the way, next time you see it, my little haircut will be gone. I'm cutting it all off tomorrow, man. Going back to that low.
Man, if you cut your head off, you look like a dark-skinned grapefruit. Don't do it. Reconsider.
What the fuck is a dark-skinned grapefruit?
Sure on the subject.
Dark-skinned grapefruit, Mondale? I can't with you. I can't. I just cannot with you, bro. Jesus Christ Almighty. Let's get back to the news. But I do want to say this, Sugar Bear. I know you watching, and I'm gonna try next week. I'm gonna try to
he lying like shit.
Like to 20, Sugar Bear, like just 20. You know what I'm talking about? Because 56.
Can we just say something real quick? Can we just end something? Yes. That's the look where Marcus and he's not gonna curse. We just need whoopee. Listen, Marcus, can we? Speaking of the news, man, let's just call the fourth arm of government, the media, out for this bullshit ass article about what is progressive victories? It is not a progressive victory that the Democratic Party ended its blacklist. The DCCC ended its blacklist of consultants that challenge incumbents. Let me tell you why it's not progressive. Because you end your blacklist on paper does not mean you really end your blacklist. Talk to me when black consultants start getting contracts. Talk to me when Marcus is not the African American outreach director for a presidential campaign. Talk to me when he's the general consultant on a campaign. Until y'all are willing to do that, you can trick the media with this bullshit, but we know damn well you've not ended your blacklist because you still won't give these consultants, these progressive consultants who put forth contracts telling you to expand your electorate or talk to black people in a different way with messaging that is created by black folk, i.e. Marcus, myself, and other folk that do this work. Until you're doing that, you're full of shit. So this article on paper sounds like it's a fucking progressive victory, but we can't let them name our victories. This is not a victory for us. A victory is when we're leading most of their presidential campaigns, their Senate campaigns, when they're hiring black consultants and not staff members. So get it the fuck out of here. And this is not to negate the work and how Marcus pushed Bernie Sanders to be more progressive than he was ready for in 2016. It is, though, to acknowledge that Marcus should have made millions off that election cycle, like them dumbass white boys who knew less than him.
Well, thank you, Mondale. Let's just talk about the being blacklisted anyway. I want to bring it back to right now, Mondale. The DNC was blacklisting people for primarying incumbents. Okay, now follow me. So if you are a person who makes $13 an hour in Arizona, or a person who makes $8 an hour in West Virginia, and you say, I want a primary Cinema and Mansion, the DNC, and you are a consultant who's like, I agree with you, you can't get any more work because they got beef with you trying to challenge somebody who doesn't agree with your issue and who's trying to hold you down. So just imagine that for a second. Let that marinate for a second, and let me bring it back to somewhere else real quick. People have memories. People have names. I've been on the DNC consultant list for, at this point, I don't know, 9 years since they created it. You remember they dropped the website, Mondale? It was like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, right? And I'm going to say something. We're not dumb people. Mondale definitely is not a dumb person. He runs an organization that works like clockwork and actually does things to turn folks out. When we talked about Georgia last year, Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap talked about Georgia last year, we weren't wrong. When we talked about
brag a little bit, Marcus. Hold on, you just said like small thing. Can we brag about that a little bit? It was February and March when we were right, bro. It was February and March. It was not the fucking. They were still trying to determine who their candidate was going to be. Marcus, let's come on, brag a little bit, bro. That's some big shit.
Well. What I'm saying is, meanwhile, white consultants are literally saying to themselves that our mentality is wrong. Yet they come down to Georgia and figure out the only way that they can win is doing what we say do. So
and then they change the name. They change. Who gets important because it's important because what you're saying, Marcus, you're being super polite to these motherfuckers tonight, and I don't know why, bro.
I'm not being polite,
bro.
I already cussed 56 times. I already cussed 56 times, man.
But yesterday your cursing was tempered by I used the F word. I listened to the episode. I used the F word way too many times last night, and I should check myself on that and expand my fucking vocabulary because motherfuckers should know that I can fucking speak better than fuck. You know what I'm saying? Fuck.
You look like you in a Puffy video.
Is this goddamn beat? Marcus. All right, so Marcus, I ain't want to say anything about this. So the only reason I'm wearing all this Adidas shit lately is because I got all the new Beyonces. Look, y'all.
Oh, you done got you a sponsorship, huh? You done got you a sponsorship,
Beyonce.
Huh? How you gonna get signed?
Listen.
How you gonna get? Mondale got signed. Mondale got signed and left the hood. Hey, Mondale got signed and just said, you know what? I'm out. And he moved away in the middle of the night so nobody saw him. So
All right, so listen. Speaking of Mundell getting signed, I do want to play this video. Dwayne, let me flex a little bit. No, don't play the volume. But play this video I'm sending you right now. Let me know when you're ready. No volume, but just play that video. I want to tell people a secret. Marcus, can we brag a little bit on who we are?
Yeah, brag.
No,
I like bragging.
Serious. Guys, this is a political show, so this is not about self. Marcus and I, honestly, we humble ourselves on a regular basis. Marcus let me interrupt him throughout the night on a regular basis, so as to show you all the differences and the intricacies of Black progressives. Even though both of us are probably more progressive than, I'm not gonna say that shit, but both of us are progressive. We still have differences. Dwayne, do me a favor, put Marcus on the screen too, please. Thank you. It's all good. That's because you got weak ass cell phone service. That ain't my fault. Get off of US Cellular. Don't complain to me. But what I'm saying
is Dwayne. Dwayne, are you producing our show on your cell phone, bro?
Hell yeah.
I understand we ain't paid you yet, but come on, man.
That nigga use a Maryland hotspot to motherfucker free internet. He using that COVID internet.
He parked in front of the library in his car. He's parked in front of the library in his car.
He in Maryland. He in Maryland. You know what he using? Busboy and Poet's internet. Motherfucker outside in his car running the show. Motherfucker. Anyway, so I need
a room. I need a room back there in the back.
Don't say that. I'm live. We live. So here's what I'm gonna say though. This is important. Listen, Marcus knows this. Tamara knows this. Nobody else in this group knows this. I rode a bicycle for 9 years. So I could save all my money to start a Black Male Voter Project. Marcus, you know this, Marcus. I didn't buy a car. I didn't buy a house. Marcus, you know, I was living in efficiency studios for 9 years so I could save $770,000 to launch Black Male Voter Project. Marcus, you remember those conversations? When I told you I spent my own money, you remember what you said to me? I was in Philadelphia. It was raining. I was outside. I was in a meeting in Philadelphia. Me, you, and Chris Smith were having conversations that day. And I said, Marcus, I spent my entire life savings that I was supposed to send that money to take care of my parents, and I'm nervous as fuck. I got ulcers because I spent all my savings, my entire life savings, $750,000 to start a Black Male Voter Project. You said, nigga, you did what? You said to me, Marcus, you was like, that is irresponsible. And honestly, looking back, it was the most irresponsible thing I ever did in my life. You said it was irresponsible, and I should have told you so you could fucking invest too. Those were your words. I don't know if you remember that. That's why all the bullshit we go through, I still come back home. That's why you are as much home to me as is infield. And that's why we can go through our bullshit and we can have problems with each other, and I still come back to you, bro. Because you told me, motherfucker, you were supposed to tell us so we can invest in you too.
Yeah.
You said that. I don't know if you remember that.
Yeah, I remember. I remember the conversation.
For 9 years, I would go to conferences and get soda water with a splash of cranberry to make people think I was drinking like them. So I wouldn't spend money on drinks, Marcus. All these political conferences, people want to like, yo, you got a high tolerance because you never drunk. No, I was never drunk because I wasn't drinking. But now, I'm saying fuck the world. Dwayne, show the niggas how I'm saying fuck the world. This is my driveway.
Oh.
Hold on, stop. That's a long wheelbase Rover. That's the house I just bought. That's a Bentley. That's a Porsche. Me and my business partners are no longer playing silent anymore. All these cars are for rent. Listen, if you need.
Yeah, what's your address?
Come see us, bro. That's a Bentley, a long wheelbase Rover, a Porsche, and a G-Wagon. If you need to rent a car, if you need to rent a car or a room, I got Airbnb space. I got cars for rent. Let me know what you need.
Marcus,
we are diversifying our money
from the airport.
Hey, listen.
We are.
Listen.
There's no longer this poor shit.
All right, so check this out. First off, that is a great business venture. I'm happy that you're actually doing that. Second off, hey, Dwayne, listen, you don't live too far from Mondale, do you? Right?
Marcus, don't tell Dwayne to rob me.
all of a sudden, doom, 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 doom.
That's a lesson in sacrifice, y'all. Hey, listen, Marcus, let me tell people what I was doing. I was moonlighting. People won't believe this shit. I used to ride a bicycle at night. Listen to me, Marcus, to manage a Hardee's restaurant. I wasn't even a general manager. I was a shift manager. A shift manager. I rode a bicycle. Yo, you hear me, bro? Marcus, you know what Hardee's is. You've been in North Carolina. Hardee's is Carl's Jr.'s of the East Coast. They owned by the same company.
That's right. Same burger.
Same
like
fucking
McFlurry.
McFlurry.
And a McFluffy.
They put their toppings on the bottom. We put their
toppings on the bottom.
What I'm telling y'all is, yo, we have to do extra shit that normal people don't do just to survive. Just to survive. I also want to say this. Yesterday, in my hometown newspaper, Black Male Voters Project purchased 7 properties, and from the town that I grew up in, a town where the unemployment rate is more than 50%. And Marcus, you listening?
I'm listening. I'm listening.
50%, and the poverty rate of that county is 40+%, and it's 97% Black. And what we're gonna do with those houses that we're tearing down and rebuilding, we're gonna put them on. We're gonna build the most luxurious houses in that town, and we're gonna put them on Section 8, so regular people can live in them. And we also purchased 2 business properties, and we're gonna start a coding school for people that have felony convictions on their record. And we partner with Zoom, Google, and a couple other businesses that I can't name right now because they're not ready for us to name them. And everybody that graduates from our program will go to another program that teach them advanced coding, and they will motherfucking get $100,000 a year jobs, guaranteed. Fuck y'all politics. These are our politics. Marcus, these are our politics. Marcus has a fucking... How can you help support the school? If you know, first of all, if you know a foundation that is funding this shit, let us know. If you have resources, do it. Let us know. Also, if you want to spread the word about Reboot Academies, this one is the first one. Is in Enfield, North Carolina. We're gonna have 16 more in 16 different states in all of our 17 priority states. That's how you can support us. Another way you can support us is continue to support our restorative roots, because some of that money from Marcus' organization will be coming to Black Male Voter Project too, because he's made a commitment as well. So
that's right.
You got to support both of these. The INC side of our work is what Marcus is doing with marijuana. And we need to make sure that he's getting minority motherfucking marijuana contracts in your state if marijuana is legal. And Marcus is an expert on it. So if you need coaching on that, talk to Marcus about that, because this is how we get us free. Politics not providing services and food for people and a way for them to pay themselves is bullshit. It's electing the status quo. Marcus and I are trying to fuck up the system, fuck up the algorithm, not just on Instagram and YouTube, but in real life, in real time. That's what we're doing right now.
Listen, Mondale is doing some big things, and we're just getting started, folks. Oh yeah, you're right. Absolutely.
Marcus is doing big things too. Fuck out of here. Don't play the humble role. Nelson Mandela said, none of us are better because you dim your light. Don't dim your light right now, Marcus.
I'm not dimming my light, man. I was listening. Can I give you some props?
And also, if I get one more,
can I give you some props? Man, shut the fuck up for a second. Can I give you some props? You gonna let me give you some props?
Not without giving yourself props. I don't want them.
Hey, stop being a
because I'm the face of Black Marcus, because I'm the face of Black Male Voter Project. I am not the all of Black Male Voter Project. You know that. Because we had a conversation before the call about people hating on us, and your post was based in that, and my sharing of your post was based in that. But we don't need to call names because it don't fucking matter, because it's other people. What we also need to do is, I need to acknowledge I don't have a sponsor for Adidas or Beyonce. I have Tam in holding my back up, keeping my spine straight, and Tam makes sure I get all of the Beyonce product whenever Ivy Park comes out. So there's no sponsorship. It's Tam being savvy as fuck. And if I don't say that, she's gonna cuss me out.
Tam sounded like she was the getaway driver when you left the hood.
God damn it, Marcus and Dwayne. That's what you took from that.
Hey, Marcus's lights just went out. Everybody go in there and get everything they can. hey, y'all see Mondale done left me in the hood by myself.
the way to freedom is not dependent on the system they built for us. The way to freedom is everybody that has a little bit share with everybody. Fuck
right.
capitalism. Fuck capitalism for making billionaires. I don't ever want to be a billionaire. I need enough to fucking pay my mom and dad's bill and my bills and get fried chicken when I want it.
That's simple.
Some Cracker Barrel biscuits. Everything else is owed to the community. Marcus and I, with the naming of Marcus Company, Restorative Roots, has more to do with marijuana roots growing deep and everything to do with what he's trying to do with that fucking resources he make off that company. The same is true for Black Male Voter Project and the way we alleviate people. So fuck y'all who out here playing politics just to make your organization rich and not take care of communities. Marcus and I have a different idea on what it means to be progressive, and it requires not for my friends to ask me for money, but for all my friends to have as much money and much freedom as I have.
And it's a good thing to be free. It's a good thing to be free. The ethos of what I do in my company is literally that I want to teach, train, and also consult and have people actually go out and do it on their own. So because it's an industry that like less than 5% of us are growing cannabis in the state, in this country, less than 5%. And they make it a rat race for us, people of color, but they make it really super easy for white folks, right? And you got to be well connected. You have to like play politics, and as if you guys ever followed the equity process in Chicago and Illinois, you know that they came out with an equity program and only rich white people got the licenses. They came out with an equity program in the state of Illinois and only politically connected wealthy white folks got the licenses. Right?
What my partner in life, I have two partners in life. Tam is one of them, Marcus is one of them. Regardless of what those two people and I got going on, those will always be my partners in life as it pertains to how we get Black people free. I don't give a fuck how much that nigga get on my nerves or how much I get on his nerves. He can't divorce me, and the same is true for Tam.
It's fucking unfortunate.
That's just a fact.
Because I be wanting to lead this nigga.
But what Marcus won't say to y'all is, y'all don't know that for most of 2020 in COVID, Marcus refused to get on a motherfucking plane, but he was still doing that work to get those licenses, getting in his car, driving from Georgia all over this fucking country to make sure his shit was situated, and not in no selfish way, in a way that was going to free people and make sure Black people knew what ownership was. And the trainings he's talking about how to own and manage marijuana companies is powerful and so important, because while only 5%, he said us, that's how fucking free and liberating he is. He's talking about Black people. Only 5% of Black people own the marijuana industry, marijuana industry right now.
5% that grow.
What he didn't say was how many of us are locked up because of marijuana.
Oh God.
So what he's doing, advocating for brothers who've been affected by this shit to have ownership in this shit is a big deal, and he never talks about it on his show. So I didn't show y'all that house or those cars to brag. Well, I'm not talking about Marcus to brag right now. I'm reminding you all that we are consistently fucking committed to our community, and we don't give a fuck if for the next 20 years we have 239 listeners, as long as y'all know that we are committed to what we got going on for Black people and oppressed people in this world.
Absolutely. Well said, Mondale. Shit, that ain't nothing else to really say. You know what I mean? Like, we got to get economically free. Without being economically free, we can't necessarily, because y'all set the system up. Don't be mad at me for trying to take advantage of it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. I do want to say one thing about haters. I think it's been a while since I said something about haters. And I said that on one of Clickbaity Political Thirst Traps, one of the quick traps back in the past. It was just a quick post, but I'm going to repeat this statement. People will hate on you for existing. People will hate on you because you're breathing. People will hate on you because you have a podcast. People will hate on you because you watch a podcast. People that hate on you if you're Black. People that hate on you if you're white. People hate on you if you're rich, and people will hate on you and shit on you if you're poor. You won't get hated. You won't get hate unless you are doing something, right? And no matter how you feel about, first, let me say something about this show. We don't care. Like, y'all can hate on us. And we're gonna try to keep speaking the truth, right? But what we want all of the Trap Squad members to do is to realize that when you're trying to build power, there's gonna be people in the way, right? And there's no one way to Black liberation. I know that moderation is not the way to Black liberation. That's not going to help us at all. There's no moderate way to Black liberation whatsoever. We all have to be radical in our thinking, radical in our economics, radical in our practices, radical in our podcasts. But you're going to get hated on the way. And right now we have haters. Mondale and I have haters. They just show up. They show up out the blue sometimes, right? Just because we're existing. But here's what I want to say. It doesn't matter because I decided to get out of a space where my paycheck could be affected by hate. You can't beat me. You literally can't. And I want more people to be like this, because we're all caught up economically in a system that forces us to just watch this show, maybe comment on this show, but have to be sort of conservative in our lives, right? And that's not true freedom. A lot of you guys are caught up in dead-end jobs, right? I was caught up in a dead-end job too. And to be honest with you, if there's anything that we can do collaboratively to make sure that all of us do better economically, like we talk about politics a lot on this show, but if there's anything that we can do as a show, maybe even do some things seminar-wise, maybe even do some things, just the basics of a budget. If there's anything that we can do to make folks do better economically, that's something that I'm more than willing to help out on, because to be honest with you, we need to have holistic, healthy people watching this show, a part of the Trap Squad. Each one teach one. Each one teach one.
Good idea for one day out the week. Bring on somebody and talk about financial literacy, all kind of stuff like that.
Yeah. That's because Mondale didn't just make it there, and that's a great idea, Dwayne. But each one teach one, bro. Because at this point, there's too many of us who are caught up in systems where they have to just be uber careful. And then, there's no retirement, man. There wasn't no retirement in politics. And, $15 an hour minimum wage is not going to make you enough money to even save up for retirement. So we got to figure out our own ventures, man. Black, white, everybody. We got to figure out our own ventures, right? And shout out to that person who said they got the 1995 Bronco with 425,000 miles on it. Keep that bitch working. Your car is a Bentley. That shit gets you from point A to point B.
And you should know that all of the cars in my driveway are used cars, and we got them for the low because we got them from the auction. So don't think that you sold exclusive cars in my driveway. You just need to know how to buy cars. If you paying $200,000 cars for a Bentley, you're being reckless with money. You can easily get those cars from auctions for the low. You just got to holler at us in a DM, and we can share it. We can share those secrets with y'all too. And I definitely love Broncos, the old ones that OJ was running in. So
that's right.
Don't think that you just sold $3 million worth of cars in my driveway. You just sold us all our shit came from the auction, baby. And that's because we smart. We real smart business owners. And
you sure, man? Like you sure it wasn't 17? You sure it wasn't 17.5, bro?
It wasn't 17.5. And I want people to think I'm a drug dealer. You want to know why? When you think I'm a drug dealer, you pull me over and you realize and you run the motherfucking papers. And when you run the papers, all that shit is legit.
That's right.
Everybody that owns one of those cars is a Black business owner. And like I said, and I'll say it again, they came from the auction, and we a smart business owner, and we're making money off of them motherfuckers. So I don't give a fuck what the world says.
That's right.
That ain't reckless. That ain't reckless or a waste of money.
Real quick, Yeah, no, Mondale is definitely not a drug dealer. He works really hard for shit. Rachel, you're absolutely right. Thanks for the super chat. I tend to not do this enough on this show. The disability community. Yo, they need more amplification. They get screwed over in general. So I want to make sure that we lift you guys up. The people who don't have cars, who are just taking their 2 feet and watching this on a janky cell phone, that's better than not having anything. We appreciate the support. Folks who have more money than us and watch this show, shout out to y'all too, right? Just make sure that you are doing things to make everybody economically free. We literally have to figure out, and one of the tools is forcing politics to actually work for us. Yeah, go ahead.
Listen, right now I'm getting texted a lot by Tam. She's pissed that I did that because she's triggered because Merlin Santana was killed. Merlin Santana was a star on Steve Harvey's show, and he got killed in Crenshaw because he was people thought he had something. Tam knows more about this. Marcus, you heard about it. You know about it. I already have death threats. They're gonna kill me already, and people need to know that I'm gonna die. I'm gonna be killed anyway. I already know that. One of my donors.
Yeah, we can't. Hold
on, Marcus. Hold on. This is reality. And we need to be okay with this. So one of my donors sent me money to have armed guards because I was getting death threats. I'm getting death threats. They're gonna kill. If you don't know the history of America, I'm gonna get killed young. I'm not gonna be an old man ever. I'm never. That is not in the papers. I've been getting death threats since I started Black Male Voter Project and started speaking out about what I speak about. As soon as the people that love me, Tam, Marcus, and my family get comfortable with that, as soon as you guys get comfortable with that, the better off we'll be. It's gonna. I don't need to say it, Shan. I'm not even lying to y'all.
But you know what though? But hold on, but you know what though? Hold on. You've been interrupting me all night. It's my turn to interrupt you, right? Like, first off, let me tell you something. Like, first off, that ain't about to happen. Second off, I'm gonna speak this into existence since you spoke that into existence. You're gonna live a long and healthy life, my brother, because you ain't leaving me in this shit can by myself, bro. So as far as I'm concerned, like all that selfish bullshit, dark ass shit that you pulling right now, fuck all that shit. What we gonna do is we gonna live till we get old. We gonna buy cars. We gonna fucking get people $15 to a living wage. We gonna get black people reparations. And hey, listen, after we get black folks the reparations, you can go ahead and do what you gotta do, but you got a lot of work to that point. So I'm cutting y'all with that. I'm cutting y'all with all that shit right there. And what we're going to do is we're going to end this show. Clickbaity Political Thirst Trap. We love y'all. I love you, Mondale, for every word that you say tonight. I love you, Trap Squad. And we're going to keep it moving. We'll see y'all because tomorrow's Throwback Thursday. So don't trip. We'll see y'all on Friday. We'll see y'all on Friday at 7:30. 7:30. Don't forget that. Y'all share that show. 7:30, not 8:30, 7:30. Also, remember, the book club reading is not the 17th of March. It's the 13th of March. That's Saturday. We're going to spend early Saturday together talking about pedagogy of the press. And I also need y'all to know, Marcus, I love you to death, but reality is reality, bro. We ain't doing no buzz. Hey, Dwayne, take us out. Peace out.
Trap squad, 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 trap squad. Hey, clickbaity political. Yeah, thirst trap, trap squad, squirrel squad. Our mission is critical to speak the truth to the masses. Yeah. We here for the fight. We ain't started, but we here to finish it. Sick and tired of seeing the privilege. Take advantage of the weak and the innocent. So we let our voice be heard. Every single weeknight. Unapologetic. Yeah. Black people, despite this white supremacist system that we live through on a daily, we still throwing up those acorns cause we represent clickbaity. Yeah. Trap squad, trap squad, trap squad. Let me hear ya. Trap squad, trap squad. Throw those squirrels up if you with it. Trap squad. Trap squad.
Yeah, I see you. Yeah,